Lake Champlain is the sixth largest body of fresh water in the United States. Its nearly 600 miles of shoreline is bordered by Vermont to the east and New York to the west. The deepest and widest section of the lake is the home of Burlington Harbor and the University of Vermont's Rubenstein Ecosystem Science Laboratory. Jason Stockwell, director of the lab, is doing research with UVM senior biology student Molly Morrissey on the vertical migration of Mysis shrimp and has invited us to join them on a sampling trip. Mysis shrimp is a glacial invertebrate inhabiting Lake Champlain since the end of the last glacier period over 10,000 years ago.
In aquatic systems, both marine and freshwater, there's this phenomenon that's called vertical migration, where a lot of the organisms will be down deep during the day and rise up in the evening and feed at night, and then go back down during the day. And the thought is that they're going down deep to hide from visual predators who can see them easier in the surface waters. So they can feed on things up at the surface, but they can also feed on things down deep. And so the question is, well, why are they undergoing this vertical migration? And so the research we're doing is trying to get at these mechanisms of what's controlling that behavior.
On an unseasonably warm and cloudy mid-November afternoon, we board the Mysis, UVM's 45-foot research vessel.
Molly Morrissey's a fourth-year student. She's in biology. And she wanted to do research experience, get her hands wet, so she's leading the charge on this effort. And Thor Bell is my work study student for this year, and he's been cleaning a lot of little bottles, but slowly we're getting him into more interesting things.
Also joining us is Professor Ellen Marston, Interim Director of UVM's Wildlife and Fisheries Biology, and Chelsea Mitchell, UVM third-year biology student. The Mysis leaves the dock at Burlington Harbor 1.5 hours before sunset, with Captain Bill Lowell at the helm.
This is our electronic navigation program, and it feeds us information from our GPS. And we're going out into about 100 meters of water.
Yeah, cool.
And right now we're navigating with the autopilot.
The work that we're doing is pilot work. We're trying to explore whether we can use enzymes, metabolic enzymes in Mysis to serve as a proxy for their activity, for their migrations. We were collecting animals down deep before sunset when they're all down there, and then collecting them up high after sunset, and we're going to compare their enzymatic levels between those two time periods. And the hypothesis Molly is testing is, are the enzyme levels in these Mysis that are up high after sunset greater than the enzyme levels that are down in the Mysis during the day when they're on the bottom.
The first Mysis sampling at the bottom of the lake is conducted 45 minutes before sunset.
We use something that's called the closing net. It basically has a trigger mechanism where you lower the net down to the bottom, you start raising it, and you send a trigger down the wire, and it trips a mechanism which collapses the net on itself, and then you haul it up, and so you're not sampling throughout the whole water column. There's one.
No,
Two.
there's a few in here.
Okay.
Oh, you got like 6. You can see his legs moving. So the samples that we look at tonight, we're going to look at this certain protein called LDH. We're going to look at the content and compare it between the different types of Mysis that we're getting.
After the first sampling at the bottom of the lake with the closing net, we wait until just after sunset for the second sampling.
We wanted to catch the Mysis up high in the water column for that comparison, and so we used what's called a Tucker trawl, and it's basically a rectangular mouth opening with a fairly fine mesh net on it, and we just tow it along behind the boat at a certain depth and basically picking up mysis like a trawler would of fish, and then bring that aboard.
Oh, yeah. Now you're talking.
So we don't know where we caught them. On board, we pick through the sample, and we're looking at 2 different sizes of mysis, big and small. We put them into a vial and put them on dry ice right away to quickly freeze them to lock in the enzymatic activities. And then we'll bring those into the lab and do the enzyme analysis on that.
After 2 more Tucker trawl samplings at the surface and 1 more closing net sampling at the bottom of the lake, we return home to Burlington Harbor 4 hours after sunset. Good night.
Good night. Thanks, Jay. So, did you enjoy that?
Yeah, that was great. Phenomenal.
One of the things I really enjoy about science is teaching it to students in one-on-one situations, and seeing the excitement on their face and having students say, "This is the coolest thing I've ever done."